12:32, unfortunately. This kicked me out, but on Wednesday. And my lives are every Wednesday from 12:30, about 20 minutes to quarter to 10 to 1 Central Standard Time. And today I'm talking about from frozen in fear to fired up with confidence. And these are three tools that I'm going to give you today to help you do that. And the reason I decided that I wanted to do this was because I am back from a 2-week trip to Africa. And this was something that was on my bucket list, and I wanted to do this, but I was quite nervous to go on this trip because it's very far away. I've never left my children for more than 9 days. And it's a big flight. It's a 15-hour flight to go to South Africa. And it was a lot of money to go. And so I was really nervous about doing this, but I decided that I was going to go anyway because I wanted the experience. And it was with a bunch of women from all over the world. And on top of that, it was going to push my edge. And I am all about pushing people's edge. Why? Because if you don't step into those spaces that you know that you're meant to step into, you're not going to transform. You're not going to alchemize what you need to alchemize to get what you want and create what you want in your life. And so my keynote talk that I give, and by the way, I'm Melissa K. Range, Igniting Change. The keynote talk that I give is all around going from frozen in fear to fired up with confidence. Why? Because I'm a fire walk instructor and I love fire. I love the way fire alchemizes, transforms, changes things. It burns away the old and it ignites the new. This is all what I am about for people and helping people to step in to their highest self, their whole self. And we can't do that if we're unwilling to face our fear and to go after those things and build our confidence to get what we want, create what we want. And so my keynote again is all about going from frozen in fear to fired up with confidence. And I give you 3 tools on how to do this. And I know it sounds for some people very simplistic, and people think, I don't think I can do that, Melissa, especially when I tell them that I walked on fire. But that was just one way that I was able, me, to alchemize some of my fear and change some of my fear. And so let me just give you a little bit a flavor for the tools that I use and I teach people on how to go from frozen in fear to fired up with confidence. And maybe you're in a space in your life where you don't want the relationship that you're having in your life, or you want a new relationship because you haven't had one for a while with someone that's a significant other. Or maybe you want a career change, or maybe you want a new job, or you want a new job, you want to do something different, you want to follow your passion, but you also want to make money doing it and you don't know how. Or maybe you want to move to a new location. These are always the biggest decisions that a lot of us have to make or want to make, but we're scared. And we don't know how to get from point A to point B to create the life that we want to create, something we love that we want to create in our lives. And so for me personally, this trip was very pivotal and very important for me because there's a lot of things in my own personal life that I'm looking for change in, that I want to transform. And if I'm going to walk the talk and I'm going to teach others how to make those changes, alchemize or transform, I have to do the do myself. So the first one that I always teach people about is making yourself a priority. And I call this reclaim. You got to reclaim your power. You've got to reclaim time for you. Make yourself a priority by self-care, taking care of yourself, doing for you what needs to be done to fill your own cup. And in my talk, I always speak about, and I was just on like 6 or 7 planes in the last 2 weeks, putting the oxygen mask on yourself first. And why do we need to put the oxygen mask on ourselves is if we don't, then what happens is we're depleted, we're not filled up, and we can't help anybody else. So one of the main things I talk about is how you can learn to self-care and take care of you in order to feel your life is a main priority. You're filling up your cup. You are making sure you have the energy that you need to go out and serve, or go out and help others, or go out and do the work in the world that you want to do and need to do, because it is your mission or it's your passion. And so that's step one, always reclaiming that power within yourself. And maybe you are one of these people who let people kind of stomp all over you, or you let people, you're a people pleaser, or you are somebody that really, just is always giving, 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 giving. Well, that's giving your power away. That's giving your energy away. And what ends up happening when we do that and we don't make ourselves a priority is we become resentful and we start getting angry. But you know what? You've got to take self responsibility in your life. And if you want to have that power to create what you want in your life, you're definitely going to have to make yourself a priority. You're definitely going to have to bring your energy back to you, because if you don't have energy, you aren't going to be able to go out and do the things in life that you want to accomplish, or you want to create, or you want to get to. And so this was something, from a personal standpoint, this is something that I had to learn. And the way, like just this 2 week trip that I just did, what was so great for me was I didn't have to clean my room. I didn't have to cook my meals. I didn't have to do my laundry. So it really was a vacation for me, because as a single mother, I'm always doing those things for others. I'm cooking meals. I'm doing laundry. I am picking up and cleaning up the house. I'm taking care of pets. And maybe some of you can relate to this. So what are you doing in your life to make yourself a priority? What fills your cup? Do you go to the gym? Do you exercise? Do you get out in nature? I would highly encourage you to do that without your phone. Or do you go, maybe you're somebody that likes to, go do an activity by yourself, like something where you listen to music and go listen to a jazz band or whatever. What is it that fills your cup? You have to make yourself a priority, and you have to choose what brings you that fulfillment and that wholeness. And for me, it's things like nature, playing pickleball, going river walking, walking my dog. So these are things that help fill my cup. And those are just a few, getting a massage, taking time for meditation. What are things that fill your cup? I'd love for you to put this in the comments, maybe after this is over, because today I decided to turn off the comments because I just wanted to talk so that you all could just get a flavor for my keynote. And then I'll be doing, of course, more themes around this kind of work, as I have been doing for the past several months. So what's the second step in going from frozen in fear to fired up with confidence? The second step is listening to your intuition. And I call this rebuild. Why? Because each one of us has a superpower within us, and it's called your intuition. It's your personal GPS. It's your roadmap. It's your guide. It leads you to where you want to go in life, to create the things that you want in life. But guess what? Most of us don't pay attention to it, and most of us don't listen to our intuition. And why is that? Because we've been told since we were young, well, that's not what you heard, or that's not correct, or we think that can't be right because we heard it, but we don't think, because it sounds maybe crazy or out of the box, or it seems kind of, there's no way I could do such and such. We just suppress it. And so over time, what we end up doing is we just push it down, suppress it, and then we just completely have turned it off. But that doesn't mean you can't turn it back on. So I'm here to remind you today that you have this superpower, this small, still voice, this inner wisdom, this ability to tap into this guide within you to help you. And I call this rebuilding, because we do need to have that intuition in order to get what we want, in order to transform that fear into confidence. because the more we step out and the more we take action and the more we go after what we hear in our intuition, the better we're going to get at it, the easier it's going to become, the more confident we are going to become. But you have to act. And this is step 3. You have to act on what you hear. I say take action. And I call this restoring grace to your life, or restoring that part of you that has been fearful to step in to those spaces that you're being called to step into. And if you don't take action, things are never going to move forward for you. You're never going to transform or alchemize what it is in your life that you want. And taking action builds confidence. And you have to walk through the tension. So let's say, like, for example, the other day I was in Africa. And one of the things that happened while I was in Africa was this man brought in these non-venomous and venomous snakes. One of which was, and when I saw him bring the snakes into our luncheon, I knew what was in this big gray bucket. I knew there was one of the most venomous snakes in the world was in this bucket. And I could feel the tension, the anxiety, the nervousness within me. And what happened, I kind of went a little bit frozen in fear. I got frozen in fear because I knew that we were going to see these snakes, and 3 of them were non-venomous and 3 or 4 of them were venomous. And this man who has been bitten by a black mamba, he was actually going to take all of these snakes out. And the first 3 snakes we were able to pass through one another because they're non-venomous snakes. But of course, the last 4 snakes we were not allowed to touch except the tail of the black mamba. And I will be probably posting a picture of that because I ended up holding just the tail of this very, very venomous snake. And he held the head of the venomous snake. But what I found within myself was this fear, this anxiety. How am I going to hold this snake? Or am I even going to be allowed? Or is he going to drop the snake on the ground and let it go free? Because I had seen a video from Facebook about how this woman who started this anti-venom organization, she actually dropped one of these green snakes on the ground. And I think it's a type maybe of mamba. It's a very venomous snake. I mean, basically, if you get bitten by this snake, you're in trouble in River City, I like to say. And we actually saw one of these snakes as we were driving out of our resort later in the week. But this man, I didn't know what he was going to do with the snakes, and I didn't know how that was going to go. So I had all of this tension and anxiety in my body. But I knew that he also was aware that we were there and that they work with snakes all the time. And so I sat there, and then I realized, gosh, I want to hold one of these non-venomous snakes. I want to touch it. And then when he said we could come up and hold the black mamba, I was like, I need to do this because I need to know that this snake is part of nature. And other people were holding the body of the snake and the tail of the snake, and he was holding the head of the snake. Oh my gosh, you all, it was incredible. But this helped me to realize, wow, I can do scary things. Wow, I can step into my fear. And what happens when we do that is we let go of some of this anxiety and this tension forming within ourselves. And we act and we become more confident. And this is how we continue to grow and how we continue to resolve. I think in life, so many of us don't follow through with many of us don't follow through with the action that we need to take. And this then becomes an issue because we become complacent. We think that our life isn't meant to change. We feel stuck. We don't know how to get what we want. And we all are creators. We all are powerful beings. We all have these desires within us to bring to fruition. And if you want to do that, these are 3 steps that I highly encourage you to try to do, to make time for in your life. But you have to make an intention. What is it that you're in fear of, or what do you want in your life to create, to bring forth? And you have to write it down, and you have to really focus on that thing that you want, that you desire, that you want to bring into your um, awareness, into your beingness, into your life. What is it? If you don't define it, you're not going to be able to see where you want to go. And this is what I learned even more of as I was on this trip to Africa for the last 2 weeks. And now I have more clarity about how I'm going to get from point A to point B in my own life. And it's really exciting because so many of us have dreams, desires, goals, things that we desire to bring into our lives in this lifetime. And a lot of people don't do them because they are stuck or frozen in fear. And I've mentored many, many people. And that's actually why I created my women's program. It's a 5-part program. You can do it on your own, self paced regimen. And I created this program for women because I noticed in my own life that there were things that I had shut down or I had stopped doing because of where I was in my marriage. And my marriage really brought me down to a place where I had low self esteem, where I wasn't confident anymore, and where I really wasn't chasing my dreams and desires because I was people pleasing and taking care of everybody. And I wasn't doing what I wanted to do in my life anymore. And that brought me to a lot of healing, a lot of transforming, a lot of alchemization of my own personal life. And a couple of years ago, I decided I wanted to create this program for women so that they could get out of this stuckness, this fear, and start remembering their power and remembering that it's possible for us to have anything that we want and do anything that we want. And so I did this program, created this program, and I put my heart, body, mind, soul into this whole thing. And now it's online and you can do it. It's an evergreen program and you can just sign up and you can do this program at your own pace, in your own time, and get the benefits of transformation. But you have to make an intention about what you want to create. You have to set a goal or think about something that you've really wanted to do in your life and then work the program. And it's very easy. There's videos you can just watch. And like I said, do it at your own pace. But it's called Find Your Fire and it's online. And so if you're interested, as always, I put the link in my live videos for any woman. Well, 40 plus is what I say, but any woman who's looking to change their life and find their fire again about something that they want to bring in, or maybe it's something you want to let go of. Maybe you have something that you are done with in your life and you said that has served me and I'm done and now I'm moving forward in my life and I'm not going to people please this person or go to this place that I'm unhappy with. And that's what the program is all about. And once again, you can just go check it out. If you go to my website, reclaimrebuildrestore.com, you can look up the program. I have a video on there that tells you about the program, and then you can sign up on your own and take the program. And it's really been for all the women that have taken it, they've said it's been a wonderful, amazing experience. And there's some reviews on my website as well. So I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic day. I will be joining you again here every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we will have a new topic every week around this fear to confidence topic, because that is what I teach. And that is all of the people I've mentored over the years. They always come to me saying, I want to change this. I want to transform this. I want to, well, what they call fix this or whatever. But really, the responsibility falls back on you. And so, what are you going to do to get out of your fear and get into confidence? What's one thing that you can do today? One step, one baby step, I call it, that can push you forward in your life to bring to fruition something that you really long to create, that your heart says, I really, really, really want to do this, or I really, really want to go here, or I want, that. What is it that you're going to do to get you closer to that, creating that thing, that goal, that desire, that be, that whatever it is, because that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to create those things in our lives because that's what our heart calls us to do. So what are you going to do? And I am here to support you. I am here to help you. If you are a woman 40 plus that wants to step into that space, go check out my program. Go to my website at reclaimrebuildrestore.com. And thanks for your subscriptions to my videos, my page, my YouTube page, because I know over the past few months I've gotten more subscribers, and it really helps me see there are people in the world who really want to get out of fear and go for what they want, and to let go of the past and let go of things that are done serving them or don't serve them. Because I have mentored many of those people over the years, and I am one of those people too. And thanks for the likes. I really appreciate you. Glad you joined me today, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week, Wednesday, 12:30 Central Standard Time. See you then.